of the reasons that people give their power away to scientists and academics and all these people is they think it's complex and they're not clever enough to work it out. It's actually not complex. If you break it down to the whole basics, it's actually very simple. It might look complex the way it all plays out, but it's actually simple in its basic form. So my consciousness is different to someone who just rolls up their sleeve and says, yes sir, no sir, 3 bags full. Why is that? It's simple. When someone tells me, and this of course is the same for you and endless other people now, hallelujah. When someone says to me, do this, I say, why? And if you can't give me a good reason why, then I'm not going to do it. I'm going to question what you're saying. And if you can't produce the evidence to support what you're saying, then I'm not going to take you seriously. And I don't care if you've got a uniform on or a luminous bloody jacket or you've got some fancy title, I'm not doing it. So that's the choice that I make. And I make it because I have the self-respect that I'm not going to do what I'm told just because someone in authority tells me to do it. Because I don't perceive myself as inferior to someone in a luminous jacket, funnily enough. And I don't feel myself superior to them either. This is a two-way thing. And also I have the awareness to say, look, I can work this out. I have the ability to work this out. I don't have to listen to authority to tell me what's going on. I can work it out. Other people in a different state of consciousness, the presenter people as I call them, they don't think they've got the ability to work it out. And they don't have the self-respect, unfortunately, to say, I'm not doing what you're telling me because you're telling me. Show me why. Convince me. And therefore they become people who perceive that authority must know best because they don't think they know best. They don't think they can know best. And so in the end, it's literally what your perception of self is and what your perception of the world is. For instance, going through the last 2 years, watching only the BBC and ITV and CNN, then you are not going to get the information that's going to give you a breadth of possibility. You're going to get the information that's going to give you one possibility, which is the official possibility. And if you don't have the self-respect, but also the basic streetwiseness to know that these media organizations lie to you, then you're just going to take what they say as true, and that's going to become your reality. That's going to become your perception. And as a result of being your perception is going to become your behavior. And that's what's happened. You know, this cult knows this. I mean, you're well aware that the foundation drivers of all the restrictions have been psychologists. They've been driving the restrictions, and they're all been based on psychology. This is the stadium in which the whole of life is played out. You control perception, you control behavior, you control enough perception, you control human society. You know, when people say we're in a spiritual war, well, what we're in is a tussle between basically two states of consciousness. One which is to control, impose, and take over, dominate, and one which wants freedom. And what we've allowed is that which wants to control and impose and overpower has been left alone decade after decade to put these things into position and put people into position which they can now use against us in terms of laws, in terms of personnel, to take our freedom away. And what's happening is more and more people are starting to realize that actually this is the most important thing in their lives now. If we don't respond to this, and it is beginning to gather, then we ain't gonna have a life as we perceive it. If people say to me, what's the solution? I say, get yourself a calculator. Put in close to 8 billion, and then take away the people in political power, the people in uniform, the people in military, take them all away from the 8 billion. And how many of the 8 billion are left? Well, nearly all of them. Yeah, exactly. That's it.
Wow. I personally agree 100%. I hope you enjoyed it. That's David. It's not my channel. I'm recording it.